Brr.
Are you guys cold in here?
Yeah, because we're so far up north, eh?
Hey.
Right, eh?
Oh.
Rite Aid?
Right.
Aid?
Rite Aid? We're stuck in the freezer at Rite Aid.
If we're stuck in the Canada section of Rite Aid.
Yeah. They're extensive, which is all in the freezer.
Yeah.
Which is also their version of All in the Family. That's because we are going way up to the north, the soon to be only inhabitable part of North America, Canada.
Oh no, is something wrong with Mexico?
Too hot in Mexico. Caliente. You might want to learn that word. But before we get any further, this is the Candy Review Podcast a la Canadienne, this episode.
Oh.
That's half of Canada.
Got it.
Yeah, the rest, they sound like us.
Yeah, baguette or whatever.
Yeah, baguette.
Baguette.
Yeah, half the country plays hockey sticks with fiberglass. Half uses baguettes as their hockey sticks. It's a whole. They have their own civil war going.
It completely changes the game.
It makes the game so much more delicious. And speaking of delicious, this is Daniel Tasty Treat Zaffron.
This is Beto Scrumptious Sisters.
Oh yeah.
This is Greg. I'm sorry, Gonzalez.
I'm sorry that you have to spit that out. If we didn't mention, this is the Candy Review Podcast, where each episode we pick a different candy. We give the history of the candy. We taste the candy.
Damn straight.
We say how much we love Boston Baked Beans, the candy.
Love them.
You guys are bullies.
No, I didn't hear that. And then we play a candy game, and then we go straight back to the Niagara Falls.
Right, which is...
I'm running out of Canadian references.
You sure are. Ryan Reynolds, Nathan Fillion.
Is Ryan Reynolds from Canada?
I'm pretty sure.
I almost called it Canada.
Canada?
I'm surprised you didn't go for the low-hanging fruit.
A maple leaf? Oh.
Maple leaves.
Maple leaf. Maple leaf candy.
Let's go Halloween. The Toronto Halloweens. I've got something in a future episode to tell you more about Halloween that I learned from a Canadian. But yeah, Halloween, we are dipping back into the land of Halloween apples.
Yeah.
And isn't it nice?
It is very nice. It's one of my favorite places to think about. Never to visit, because I'd have to get my passport thing again. Remember that we have to talk about the rappers too.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
because
yeah.
that leads
Our
us
new
into
segment.
our top of the show.
Top of the show.
Top of the continent to all of you.
Oh.
For we are in America's hat. Canada.
We're in America's Afro.
America's white only populated at the bottom Afro. So, as you alluded to, Greg, a few weeks ago, I introduced a new segment to the show.
Yeah.
Where we take the time to look over the wrapper each candy comes in. We couldn't come to a unanimous decision because I refused. I had 12 angry men this, and I refused to.
Yeah.
I refused to acquit that Puerto Rican. So, on what this segment should be called. So, I put it to a poll on the internet as we promised. So, the two options that we had narrowed it down to. A moment of silence for the fallen grab it or nah spit. Please.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
That was lyrical genius.
It
but,
was.
you know,
It was.
ahead of your time.
Yeah.
I was so far ahead of my time that it was like the apocalypse. It was just that segment name was roaming the desolate landscape alone.
Your skill level hasn't met your level of brain output yet.
No.
There is a gap there. And one day it'll be, your brain output will drop and your skill level will meet you in the middle.
Well, much like Gordie Howe.
What?
I'm also glad we left this decision up to the internet.
Yeah.
The most fair and just.
fair and democratic thing out there, the internet.
r/dank memes said that we're a bunch of Jews and
They got a third of it right.
I wouldn't say a bunch. I mean minority Jews, but I mean more than the average population. So the two options as we had the finalists were either Impulse or Thin Pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Rapper's Delight or It Ain't Right.
Ooh.
So
One of them's just on the nose.
Yeah.
that
Good.
one was, so the first one I came up with, the second one was a tag team before TV.
Yeah.
Because I think you, Beto, said Rapper's Delight
Yeah.
and you finished it with It Ain't Right.
I think it switched that, but whatever.
Yeah, we were
a tag team.
We mind melded, and you know, it was just art. Art was just coming out.
Well,
Yeah.
the Copyright Office has, you get 5 cents for every Rapper's Delight. You get 5 cents for every It Ain't Right. So your lawyers will have to deal with that.
It's a better deal than Stanley and Jack Kirby got.
Who?
What?
The Canadian hockey players? Were they on the Canadiens? So out of a whopping 33 votes,
Whoa.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
30 people voted for Rapper's Delight.
Wow. 30 smart people
Or
out
it
there.
ain't right. So
How many times? You voted 3 times for the other one?
they didn't say there was a limit.
But let's just say after 3, I gave up.
Let's just say I had 3% charge left on my phone. So yes. So welcome to the show, Rapper's Delight. Or It Ain't Right.
Rappers Delight
Yeah,
or It
yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
Right. Love it.
You know, it kind of hurt a little bit
Oh.
that Impulse or Thin Pulse only got 3 votes.
It's very nice of your mom and your sisters to have voted.
Yeah,
for
my
you.
mom is always on Reddit.
Yeah.
She's big into that birds don't exist these days.
Well, the Earth is flat,
thing.
so of course they're not.
Yeah, they
How could
fell
birds
off.
exist? Yeah.
All the birds fell off
They
the flat
fell
Earth.
off the Earth. Yeah.
Now that it's here, let's get into our candy news
Okay.
segment.
Ooh, candy news.
Wait a minute. Yeah, thank God our telegraph was delayed.
This is actually a nice little segue too, because oi, it's the Candy News Boy. I'm back in the game.
Oh my
Get a
God.
warn, all you listeners, this podcast is lame.
Oh, wait, no! No, spit!
Like a box of bean boozled, you all really stink.
Oh.
I'd
Oh,
rather
come
drink
on.
dirty dishwater from a backed up sink
I didn't try that one, so it might be a good thing.
than hear another crappy pun about stale news.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
eating candy buns. We're all gonna lose.
that's against you.
Oh,
That was
damn
against
it.
you. He got both
That
of
was
you.
pointed towards me.
He got me first, but he got you worse.
He got better, yeah.
Like the messages on Sweethearts, it's not crystal clear. Just do the world a favor, you jerks. Disappear.
What?
I can't believe he's back.
I've just been pantsed.
You've been verbally pantsed. I can't believe, sure, I'm singed with 3rd-degree rap burns and 5th-degree disses, but it's so good to see you again,
I
Candy
came back to
Newsboy.
stare my captors in the eye and let you know that I've grown and progressed.
No, I'm not giving you this moment. I'm taking this reclamation away from you.
This is why we hurt you, so you can become this man, and you're welcome, honestly.
That's not why I hurt you. I hurt you so that you would feel bad and to make me feel big. I can't believe he's back. And all those Grammy wins, you still you still couldn't just let it go. It hurts us
You're
more.
the Dave Mustaine of Candy Newsboys.
It hurt us more, your success, than what we ever did to you, keeping you in that
I
basement.
just had to come back and give you guys one last good dig.
Oh, well, where was it? Nah, spit.
We have to come up with a policy now. We kill all the other newsboys after him. We shoot them dead so they don't come back.
Yeah, this is what they learned on The Walking Dead season 2. Never let anyone just walk. I should have hit you with my machete when you killed Carl.
They get one good news delivery and then boom.
Yeah. Now look at the flowers.
We got to use Caligula rules with these newsboys here. Do shoot the messenger. But do you have any news for us, newsboy?
No.
What?
What the
You
hell?
didn't do the job.
I specifically came here to tell you I wasn't delivering the news.
What?
Wait a minute.
That's one job.
My final win.
Oh.
Wait a minute. What's that tattooed to your stomach?
Hold him down.
It's your contingency plan, Daniel. You tattooed future news on his back. Well done.
I'm always thinking one step ahead and 3 steps behind. Well, let's see. Let me just get this back of a newsboy here.
Yep. Played.
Oh, wait, Zorro wrote all over it. So, of course, every Candy News has a unstale, fresh as the day is long title. And this one is called Kissed from Opposed.
I told you.
He's still alive.
What? Kids don't like seal anymore?
Now is that a pose? Like oppose?
Opposed. Well, you'll find out.
Or opposed?
Opposed.
Oh.
Pennsylvania House of Representatives. So you'll see which one that is. Opposed.
I'm not that smart.
Don't know. Oppose?
Oh, you know how the House of Representatives loves posing so much. So the Pennsylvania House of Representatives have passed House Bill 1030 to make the Hershey's Kiss the official candy of the state of Pennsylvania.
Wow. Okay.
It's going to be like they're going to replace the bird or what? No more state bird, but we have a state.
The peep was the state bird of Pennsylvania. So it passed with 130 votes for and 71 opposed. I don't know who would.
Nay.
Yeah.
We like Snickers more.
It was the 71 people who were in the pocket of the Ferrara company. They argued that the Kiss, out since 1907, is one of the most iconic chocolate products ever created by Hershey's and one of the most recognized and beloved chocolate products around the world. The bill now has to be approved by the Pennsylvania Senate before it can be made official. This is all the culmination of a school project started in 2021 by a social studies class at Newton Middle School who are now in the 11th grade. So the Senate has 1 year before these students go off to college and never think about this middle school project again.
Wow.
Mr. Goodbar goes to Washington. Is that good? Is that something?
That was good, Bart.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Newsboy? I know you saw a little like that stuff, did you?
He's just so strong from the streets. The bullets are just spitting them up. We shoot him in the ribs.
By the way, this isn't a violent show. Those are love bullets.
Yeah, they're love. Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Yeah. Good impression, Greg. So I was thinking, what would California's state candy be?
Buttons.
My best guess is a marijuana gummy anything.
Yeah.
That's what. But what do you think it would be?
Look bar.
Jelly beans.
Bar.
Isn't Jelly Belly from
Jelly
California?
Belly probably would be Jelly, or maybe
Ghirardelli. Yeah, one of those two.
Oh, Ghirardelli. Yeah, if we wanted to. Mm-hmm.
I think it would be an Abba Zaba. Everybody's favorite from San Pedro, Los Angeles, Abba Zaba.
The separation of chocolate and gummies needs to be instituted in the government.
It may be when, what did the stupid Northern California people want to call their Newtonia or something?
Oh, right, yeah.
What do they want to call it when they wanted to secede from Southern California?
Oh, yeah.
It was like Anderson, or what was it? It was something really stupid. They can have gummy bears, or they can have Jelly Bellies. We get,
I like Jelly Bellies.
Okay, well, all right. They can just have marijuana.
You're a spy.
Oh, hang on. You like Jelly Bellies?
The love bullets hurt so much.
Yeah, they tickle too.
They're worse than regular bullets.
I didn't say they were good for you.
No, they're called love bullets because it's made by a guy named Henry Love, who's a Nazi.
So, that's our candy news. Hershey, Pennsylvania.
I'll be back. Stronger than ever?
Wait a minute. What's that coming out of his mouth? Is that a news soul?
Wow, it's playing a harp.
Who knows where his soul will end up next week? Tune in next time for The Soul of a Newsboy or...
Nah, Spirit.
Oh, yeah. There it is. Or It Ain't Right. So, we now have a very special Canadian. A very special episode of Candy is Dandy.
We're going to visit our cousins up north.
Yeah.
Remember how I said I had a girlfriend, but she lived in Canada? She sent us these, so you're welcome. I'll send her. I'll let her know.
So she is real.
She's real.
Yeah.
She's for sure real, and she lives in
She lives in Nestle.
Yeah, Nestle.
Yeah, Nestle, Canada. That's where she's from.
Her name is Coffee Crisp.
Her bra size is wheat flour. Yeah, that sounds about right.
8% wheat flour, so she's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
And we recently went to the Pour One Bar 50G Valeur Quotidienne.
Yeah, it's reservation only, you know?
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you would.
Stupid Americans. South Americans, as they call us. So this episode actually was it's brought to you by my Canadian girlfriend, Glenn Warren of
Glenn Warren.
Seasons Eatings podcast.
Oh, yeah.
He sent several candies. So he lives in Canada, in Newfoundland, as we learned.
Yeah.
So his podcast is the Seasons Eatings podcast, where in each episode he goes over the history of different holiday foods. You can go to seasonseatingspodcast.com or listen to it wherever you get your podcast. The other bonus we did hasn't come out yet by the time this comes out, I don't think. But he sent me a ton of candy. So there's going to be a lot of Canadian-based episodes brought to us by Glenn Warren of the Seasons Eatings podcast.
Thank you, Glenn Warren.
Thank you, Glenn Warren.
Thank you, Glenn Warren of the Seasons Eating podcast.
Let's see. We had a he calls me on the phone every day and he says jeunesse j'écoute. Yeah, and then he says potassium.
And you say I love you too.
Yeah, je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
But yeah, he is the sponsor of this episode because he sent us this candy, which is
That's awesome.
Coffee Crisp.
Wow.
I've never heard of it before.
Coffee crisp.
Do we need to drink coffee with it?
We'll get into. Wait, I had never heard of this until we started doing this show, and several Canadian people who have signed up for our Patreon or just talked to us about the show, which I guess is just as good. They didn't pay me after they talked to me, which I usually insist.
I do bill them. They have refused to pay.
When people talk to me, I do usually shake a hat afterwards. But several Canadians have said, turn me into a Coffee Crisp, or, when are you going to do Coffee Crisp? Because this is like Canada's candy is Coffee Crisp. Which is so, I know it's a lot of pressure because we have never heard of it. Like, how good could it be that we had never heard of it in America, the land of greatness?
Where all greatness filters through.
There was a lot of hype on the Cadbury creme egg from old GB, so we'll see if this is
the old land of BP, GB. Yeah, no, that's true though. That people were freaking out about that. But although there are kind of like in a very Canadian way of like, yeah, it's good. You know, like there are like
already apologizing.
Yeah,
they're apologizing like in their advertisement. So let's talk about the history of the Coffee Crisp.
Okay.
Ooh.
As the Cookie Crisp wolf grew up and put away childish things, each morning he no longer would have a bowl of the cereal that made him famous, but instead a more mature Coffee Crisp.
I see.
Yeah.
Well done.
Wow.
Yeah.
You held my hand and you walked me to that. And I said, my mom's looking for me. Let me go.
There's this really cool carnival like 4 parks over that I'm going to show you.
There's a really cool carnival the next county where it's not a crime.
It's in Canada.
Yeah,
there's this really cool this carnival in Canada. You'd really like it.
Is that how they tell jokes in Canada?
You start in America, jokes are from point A to point C, but in Canada, it goes from point A to point A. So, like I said, literally everybody in Canada's favorite candy, it seems, Coffee Crisp. For those of us who don't live pressed under a royal thumb, these are vanilla wafers inside of a coffee cream, not creme, enrobed in milk chocolate.
Love it.
That's what these are. It sounds like I was telling you before, Beto. Have you ever had a Nutty Buddy, Greg?
Yeah, I've had a Nutty Buddy. Wait, let me look that up. I might be thinking of a Nutter Butter.
Yeah, turn the safe search off. Also.
Yeah.
He also thought of Nutter Butter.
How many people are involved in a Nutty Buddy?
Yeah.
Well, you got to have at least 4 buddies to get a Nutty Buddy.
Is it all stranger based or?
Do I see their face?
You need at least 3 Canadian girlfriends to have a Nutty Buddy. A Nutty Buddy is it's a Little Debbie product that's kind of like a wafer. You will need at least 4 Little Debbies to make a Nutty Buddy.
By the way, it's 3 images of the Little Debbie snack and one of a jock strap.
Yep, now we're getting somewhere.
Yep. So you eat it out of a jock strap?
That's the prize inside the box. A Nutty Buddy is a Little Debbie thing that's kind of like this. It sounds like, but peanut butter based. So to me, this is kind of like, well, if this is this is inarguably candy in Canada. So how is a Nutty Buddy? Because a Nutty Buddy is sold in like the donut aisle, like the packaged donut aisle, the Little Debbie aisle, the Little Debbie Memorial aisle.
It's gone too soon. They never found her body.
Yeah, I wish she had grown up to be old Debbie. But, she's in a better place, Vancouver. But if a Nutty Buddy is not considered candy, how is this considered candy? So I dare to say a Nutty Buddy is candy. Right?
No, it's the
packaging you're going to say, because it's literally the same thing, but this is coffee based rather than peanut butter based. I think we'll find out, but that's my impression.
Okay. Let me consume it.
We'll decide afterwards.
It's basically a really big Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And we think Kit Kats are candy.
That's true.
So.
And same with Twix. Twix is a similar notion.
Oh yeah, you're right. That straight up has a cookie.
So Nutty Buddies aren't enrobed in chocolate. This is enrobed in chocolate. Which is
Nutty Buddies are enrobed in chocolate.
They're not enrobed. I looked at the pictures right now.
Zoom in on the jockstrap.
Yeah. There's all this brown.
Yeah, look at the background. What's in the background? Yeah.
Yeah, the jockstrap has a bunch of brown on it.
It's enrobed.
It's enrobed. Yeah.
It's disrobed.
Disrobe the unrobing. Yeah, it looks like you could see the wafer on top.
No. But the wafer is there, but it is chocolate on the wafer. It's just the wafer is like, you know how some people are like really skinny and their spine is kind of sticking out of their back?
I got to get in on this Nutty Buddy image.
Yeah, let's all search Nutty Buddy right now.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe I was thinking it was a chocolate wafer when really it's
it is covered in chocolate.
It's covered in chocolate. It's enrobed in chocolate.
It's straight up. Yeah, this is...
I would, like, if they put a Nutty Buddy in an individual package like this, like, that's candy. That would definitely be candy. So for that, it really comes down to packaging.
Does a Nutty Buddy have the creamy layer?
Oh, yeah. It's literally the same thing, but peanut butter based. From what I understand, I have not had a coffee
it's a currency exchange over here. Up there, it's a candy. Down here, it's a snack.
Anything's candy up there. Anything's candy.
This handful of batteries is candy.
Anything's candy if you have it after hockey practice.
18 Tidal, it's candy, baby.
So let's get to the actual history of the Coffee Crisp now. Stop Googling jockstraps.
Sorry. I just bought 4 jockstraps by accident. Sorry, I'm just trying to return them.
They look so delicious.
Yeah.
So this all started in the 1930s with something called Roundtree's Wafer Crisp, which was made by Roundtree's. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that.
The guy who played Shaft. Richard Roundtree.
Roundtree's Wafer Crisp?
Yeah.
This was made by Roundtree's, which is a company based in that wintry nation up north, England.
North from whom?
There is a little bit of sort of tangled roots of whether or not this is a Canadian candy or not.
Oh, okay.
Originally, this didn't have a coffee flavor, but seems to have been a cream or perhaps creme. But they did end up making a variety of this that had chocolate wafers inside that was called Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp, but you now know it today as Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Wow.
So this Coffee Crisp is a cousin of the Kit Kat. The Kit Kat and Coffee Crisp are both spin-offs of Roundtree's Wafer Crisp.
Okay.
So they are related.
They had babies.
They didn't have babies. That's disgusting. They're cousins, Greg.
They had babies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're British cousins. They did have babies.
Fun-size Kit Kats.
They were royal babies.
Yeah, they're royal babies. That's what I meant.
No, but they both had the same immaculately conceiving mom, which is the Wafer Crisp. So off of that comes a Kit Kat, and in the other branch of the tree comes this, as we'll get to. But much like what happened to Luke's hand, that's a story for another day. So, being you love Star Wars, right, Beto?
The Bible, Luke. What happened to his hand?
I was thinking Cool Hand Luke.
What happened to his hand?
Remember when that orange lady brought Cool Hand Luke's hand? Remember the hand from Cool Hand Luke? So
no hand Luke.
One hand Luke.
Yeah, one hand Luke.
So being the obedient subjects of those illustrious lizard people, the British company wanted to, of course, also produce and sell the Roundtree's Wafer Crisp in Canada.
Okay.
The Commonwealth. They wanted to bring it there. Meanwhile, there was a Toronto-based company named J.W. Cowan that had been around since 1866, but was bleeding money by the 1930s. So Roundtree cut a deal with them to take over their factory and started making and selling. Where's my editor?
We shot him.
Oh no, that was the same guy. Oh,
he's getting really good at it too.
Can you edit this real quick before your can that soul come back into you just for one edit? So they started making the Roundtree's Wafer Crisp in that factory in Toronto, Canada, but instead they called them Bis Crisp.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe Canadians didn't like the idea of Roundtree Wafer Crisp. Is that a scary word too?
Well, biscuits are cookies to them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that apply?
Why would they call a candy a bitch crib? What was it? What did you say?
I don't know if they do call them biscuits up there. We'll have to. Well, hey, Canadian listeners, let us know. What do you call a cookie? Let me explain what a cookie is. It's a biscuit.
Well, down here, cookies are fries.
Oh my. Okay. Try to remind me about that later on in the episode.
Cookies equal fries.
Cookies equal fries. Remind me later.
All right.
Okay.
Before the episodes end, someone shout out cookies equal fries.
Okay.
Then in 1938, they decide to get wild the only way Canada knows by making a coffee flavored variety of the Bis Crisp that they would call Coffee Crisp.
Okay.
So that's where the Coffee Crisp came from. So while the original candy wasn't Canadian, this variety that then overtook the original, one of two, like I said, varieties that overtook the original, became a uniquely Canadian classic, the Coffee Crisp.
And sorry, what year was this?
1938.
Okay.
That's when this first came out. So it was a spin-off that became more popular than the original. They got rid of the original because this was so much better.
Yeah.
It's a Road Warrior becoming
Mad
Fury
Max,
Road. Yeah.
becoming Furiosa. in IMAX.
Furiosa now because coming out April
You got to
16th.
experience it in IMAX. You got to experience a coffee crisp in IMAX. Coffee crisp tastes better in a place like this, even though she doesn't say that anymore.
Yeah, she said something about Canada.
Oh, they got rid of it?
They reused. I'm assuming they just reused like not outtakes, but different takes because they re-edited it to have movies that aren't 15 years old at this point, and then she says something different at the end now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's just as long and unnecessary.
Yeah.
So sleep easy. It's just as long as unnecessary. So yeah, it really overtook the original. By 1948, it was one of Canada's most popular candies. And by 1980 was Canada's best-selling chocolate bar.
Wow.
Or candy bar, depending on what you would consider it.
Oh man, not that rabbit hole.
Nope.
Let's do this again.
So the first variety of these, of the variety came out in 1998 with triple chocolate. Ooh. Some other varieties over the years have been orange, raspberry, French vanilla, cafe caramel, triple mocha, latte, yogurt, chocolate crunch, and of course, maple.
Oh yeah, that one's gotta be
Can't
good.
be Canadian without maple. They've also made coffee crisp beans, and for Halloween, you want to guess what they've called them?
Crispy beans.
Hollow beans.
No, not the beans. The actual bars. What do they call the beans for Halloween apples?
Hollow beans.
Not the beans. Oh. We're not talking about the beans. Get the beans out of your head.
Okay, beans are out of my head. Say it again.
Bean brains. So, what do you think they call these things around Halloween?
Beans.
Or at least have Bingo!
It was the way he said it.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Coffin crisp.
No. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wait a minute. What does that have to do with beans? I don't get it.
The beans are buried?
What? Yeah, the beans are dead.
Yeah, beans are dead.
The beans are like your vertebrae? Like the body's deteriorated and you open it up and there's just beans left?
Are they in the shape of little coffins?
I think they just call them coffin crisp.
Oh, go all the way.
I know. Shape it.
No, be like Reese's and don't make any...
Yeah.
They have coffins on the cover, but that are shaped exactly
We're going to
the
go
same.
to a...
Wait, there's no face on this coffin.
We're going to go to a Canadian funeral and all the caskets look like wafers.
Yeah.
Oh, we were wrong.
Yeah, they up in Canada, they call them coffees. They're not called coffins. Speaking of Halloween, they are very popular for little kids out Halloween appling. This is something they give out, I assume, little sizes.
Ooh, fun size.
Although maybe this is covered by like the government.
They start them young on coffee then.
Yeah.
The coffee seems, some other, okay, let me tell you.
Canadian coffee.
Saturday Canadian coffee. Some other evil overlords bought them in 1988 by the name of Nestle, but they are made of 100% sustainably sourced cocoa, thank God.
Wow. Okay.
So they actually do contain 10 milligrams of caffeine in these.
No way.
So there is a little bit of coffee.
Wow.
These are imported and sold in the U.S. in some places, but they aren't made or officially sold in the United States anywhere. They tried doing that in 2006, but it was sold in so few places that it never caught on. So they pulled out, like their rulers are wont to do, in 2009. So just 3 years, they were actually sold to Americans. Over 150 million of these are made a year, all in that Toronto factory. But their tagline is, makes a nice light snack. So I'm not expecting a huge punch of flavor.
No,
like I was
terrible tagline.
Yeah.
But let's try these things and prove me wrong so that I'll be forced to say I'm sorry about my judgment on this. From what I understand, it's a very slight coffee flavor, which I'm excited about because I'm not a huge coffee flavor fan.
Yeah, I'm surprised this didn't pick up in America. It's essentially like a little energy bar.
I mean, is 10 milligrams a lot of caffeine? How much is in a Coke? How many milligrams of caffeine?
What, like
an American Coke?
I don't know.
Like 35?
Maybe
35? I don't know. So we should eat 3 of these.
Yeah, you're right.
They should make a American-sized
hang on, he's Googling jock straps again.
How many caffeine?
How many caffeines can I put in a jock strap?
Wait a minute. Jockstrap plus beans. Put that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put that in. Brown smear. Also.
Just do an image search.
I was pretty close. 34 milligrams.
Okay.
No, you went over, so it doesn't count.
And there's 10 in here?
Yeah.
I didn't guess, so I got it right.
Aww.
Yeah, there's 10 in here. So let's go to our newest segment, Rapper's Delight or It Ain't Right, when you look at one of these things. Okay, all right. 5-minute dance sequence whenever we start this segment.
Someone turn that Pokemon song back on.
No. Okay, so when I see this, it's yellow. It has red text on it. It's got a big. This reminds me of like a Roy. Was it Roy Lichtenstein who does the like the paintings that are like
the pop art?
The pop art of like an old comic book. That's what this reminds me of, and that kind of does grab my attention.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So I would say Rapper's Delight light on this one.
I like that the O is like a little cup. And
Yeah,
there's
it's a nice touch.
Vapor coming out.
And it has it in French also.
Yes, it does.
Oh, so this is a miss then. I liked it until that.
Yeah.
You're offending half of our listeners in Canada. They can't understand this though, but they know when you insult them.
This is very wholesome packaging.
It's Canadian. It says Canada on it.
Yeah,
it says
in a
product proudly prepared in Canada.
Yep.
This is proudly Canadian, I'd say. Yeah, there's nothing offensive about this. There's nothing in your face. It's very like pleasant looking. It's a nice like mustardy, mellow yellow.
Quite rightly.
Quite rightly.
It's kind of basic.
It's basic, but it pops.
It's like classic basic.
Yeah, it's Canadian basic.
Yeah.
Which is like a Los Angeles 3.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. What is your verdicts on these?
For what this is, which is not an outrageous candy, it sounds like, I'm going to say Rapper's Delight.
What about you?
They're trying to appeal more to an adult.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get crazy with the imagery. It's like a half-hearted Rapper's Delight.
Yeah, okay.
Half-hearted Rapper's Delight.
That's good, yeah.
So it's like vanilla ice wrapper.
Yeah, this is like
as
vanilla
opposed
ice.
to like a real rapper like Eminem.
Yeah.
The only two rappers I know.
Yeah. Ask me why those two.
No, there's also that guy who sang Thrift Store.
Oh, it smells
All
really
right,
good.
so Greg is already sniffing it. Let's open this thing up. It opens pretty, like the wrapper feels a little flimsy, to be honest, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's not American strong, it's like Canadian strong. It's very smooth. Like honestly, I wouldn't mind being buried in this thing.
Mine's kind of beat up, but I've had it in a bag, so that kind of makes sense. What about you? What say you?
Mine is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
It smells very good.
Very basic bar looking. There's no real.
No, this is like if I were to draw a chocolate bar or candy bar, this is what I would draw because I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I won't even go so far as to color it brown. It would just be.
It implies brown. The shape.
I think it smells really good.
Yeah, that chocolate's really strong.
It's chocolate coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it smells like a Nutty Buddy more than anything.
I couldn't tell you what a.
Yeah, I
it's
have to
been
get a Nutty
minute
Buddy
since I've been knee deep in Nutty Buddy.
Oh my! Get your 5 closest. Your 5 closest college
medicated
friends.
Yeah.
I got the jock strap ready to go. I need 5 friends.
That's the hard part. You can't buy those on Amazon. All right, so let's try this. Let's try our first bite of a coffee crisp. Coffee crisp.
Wow.
Whoa.
They ain't lying about the crisp.
No. A lot thicker than I thought it was going to be.
Harder than I was expecting.
It's dense.
Ooh, man.
Not getting a lot of coffee taste, though.
I am not.
But I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is a big texture thing for me because it is thick, like it's big cat thick.
Yeah.
But it has it's almost like biting into styrofoam, but like in a good way. Like you feel like it's going to be harder to bite into, but once you sort of penetrate, much like a Canadian, once you penetrate that hard exterior, they really crumble.
Yeah. It's like styrofoam that crumbles.
Yeah, in the best possible way.
This is very wafery too.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I am a big this is very much like a Nutty Buddy, which you'll find out one day, but without the peanut butter. So that is the only thing I'm missing.
Okay.
But it leans more towards a Kit Kat flavor.
Yeah.
And the chocolate really doesn't do much here.
It's more of a container for
definitely.
the light cream and the wafer inside.
I appreciate, you're right, it doesn't do much, but I appreciate
I do.
Just like a hint of
It would be gross and dry without it.
it.
Like a
exactly.
Canadian.
Yeah. And it would just be a cookie.
Like Eugene Levy.
Yeah, it would be a cookie.
It would be a cookie.
But I would like more coffee taste because I like to taste the coffee.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to call it coffee crisp, you need a little more coffee.
Yeah.
Unless the intention is to eat it with your coffee.
I'm thinking that the coffee is going to break this down a lot.
Yeah,
If you
I could
dip
see
it.
dunking this into coffee. But as someone who this almost has like a a honeycomb sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
But it really like once you bite into it, it just like disappears.
Yeah.
Like it really crumbles
Yeah.
under the weight of an American tooth.
Yep. And the chocolate really just like dissolves.
Yeah, it's out of the game.
I do like it though.
Yeah, I like it. I'm very curious to have it with coffee because it seems like this form
Want
is
some of my old cold coffee?
Yeah, give me. It seems like the wafer and the chocolate will hold if dipped. It won't like dissolve and float in your coffee.
yeah.
I don't think, anyways.
Yeah.
Or it might give your coffee a nice little chocolate flavor going on. So you got this blend.
As it said, it is a nice light snack.
Yeah.
It's very light. Yeah, it's very wafery. It is really, really wafery. Mm-hmm. Not much coffee at all.
No.
And if you look inside, it's porous. It's very porous.
It is, yeah.
But you can see that middle layer.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is the coffee.
The cream? I don't know. If that's the cream, then the cream is like aerated.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not against it. It's very wholesome. How do you feel about wafers? Wafer cookies?
Like those like pink ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love those things.
What about you?
I like wafers too.
Yeah.
This is almost like a better wafer.
It's a better way. I mean, those are like, you know, like they would sell those at Hebrew school. Like when we would have our break, you could go buy for like 25 cents some of those pink wafers. And that was just something of like, fill these buckets up with things kids are going to want to buy. Like they're cheap and easy to make. This is an elevated version of that.
Yeah.
Because they also kind of taste the same since the chocolate isn't that overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with that.
No.
I enjoyed this. This is how I feel whenever I've left Canada. That was pleasant and I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I thought
and their healthcare was great.
The slogan was dumb, but having eaten one now,
it's
I get it. Yeah.
It's like right on.
And I want to even give more points to the packaging because after having eaten it, they match each other. The packaging and the experience of eating this and the taste and everything.
It's very upfront.
Yeah, it's very upfront.
What you see is what you get.
Like, I can't imagine like a little kid being like, I gotta have a coffee. Like, I need a coffee crisp.
Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee crisp. Hey,
somebody eat my coffee crisp.
Don't lay a hockey gloved finger on my coffee crisp.
But I can see like this being a nice treat. Like you stop in to buy coffee, they have coffee crisp right next to the register. You grab one. Like it's a very like adult version of a candy.
Yeah, it is.
Totally.
I liked it. I'm a fan of this.
I enjoyed it.
So let's write down our official ratings then. Out of 0 to 5 cavities, we write them down so that we don't influence each other.
Yeah.
This is kind of hard because
it is. Yeah.
Because it really is verging on cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of
that's what I'm struggling with. And my favorite part of it was the cookie.
Yeah.
But then what is a Kit Kat if not the same? I mean, they're cousins, or as Greg thinks, kissing cousins. Mm-hmm. They're very similar. And if this is candy, a Nutty Buddy is candy.
Yeah. All right. I'm just going in it. Going with my heart.
Yeah, I'm going with my initial thought as well. Are we all locked in on this?
Yeah. Locked in.
We'll start with the left of me being the proxy of Glenn Warren here. Greg, what is your rating of this? A coffee crisp.
Coffee crisp is an iconic Canadian candy. It was really
That's
good.
our new vocal warm-up.
Yeah. I thought it was tasty. It's not something I could eat a lot of.
Really?
The crumble. Yeah, I can't eat. Like, I ate all of mine. I don't know if you guys did.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saving it because I know we have other candy to eat later. Yeah. But I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking, like, I could eat, if these were lashed together, raft style like a Kit Kat, I feel like I could just...
Yeah.
Like, if they were like a pan flute, I could eat it as if I were eating a pan flute.
You could eat 18 harmonica sizes of candy. I liked it. It's kind of dry in the middle like a wafer would be.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting more with the coffee, but that's me bringing, my own thing to it, so I can't really mark it down for that. I'm going to give it a 2.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's an old style candy. I should like it more.
I know. That's what I was going to.
And you know what? I'll revisit this at a later date.
You want to try the chocolate version, aka a Kit Kat?
Yeah, Kit Kat, yeah. I want to try the you said a lot of flavors, and I'm like, ooh, the orange or the triple mocha.
Yeah, there are some fun
So I might
varieties.
like revisit that in another flavor.
What about the beans?
I want the beans.
This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, this is the first I've heard of the
what?
beans. Yeah, what are you talking about?
But by the way, interesting that we have only done Kit Kat as fun size varieties.
Yeah.
When all along Kit Kat was a variety of a different
Look
candy.
at that.
We were so ahead of our time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, unknown reference.
Yeah. That's our new newsboy, the unknown reference.
I'm not writing this off entirely for the future. Like, I want to dip it in coffee.
Yeah.
I want to have different flavors of it. I do like a lot about it, but this is not something I can eat a lot of.
Really?
Yeah.
As
you bite another one.
I'm eating the rest of yours.
Look how good it is.
Yeah.
What about you?
So it's a fine candy.
Yeah.
It is kind of bland. The cookie is probably the best part of it. I could eat a lot of it just because it's not like very overwhelming or like distinct. It's called coffee crisp.
He's again describing Canadians.
The coffee is misleading because I didn't taste coffee. No. Am I supposed to dip my coffee or this into my coffee? I enjoy that it has a little caffeine kick in it. That's nice. It was just kind of okay.
Yeah, a nice light snack.
It was a nice light snack.
Just as advertised.
I ate it all, so I obviously liked it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we saw your eyes rolling in the back of your head as you were eating.
And you were asking for a jock strap?
Yeah, and you kept rubbing your lower thighs.
All true. I
Where's my
think
jock strap?
I think it's enjoyable but boring candy.
Okay.
Okay, he's describing Canada again.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It's a very nice candy.
You would take it up to your parents.
I think I would be more excited to explore the other flavors of it because the texture was nice. The crumbling of the cookie was very nice. The chocolate, though it didn't really provide much flavor, it did, I guess, kind of moisten it up.
Yeah.
Again, he's rubbing his thighs. The lower portion.
He's blowing a kiss to it.
This one was hard because I didn't really love it, but I didn't really hate it. It was just somewhere in the middle for me.
Right.
It was better than middle of the road. I gave it a 3.
Okay.
A very confused 3.
Okay. That's good. Yeah.
This is interesting. So I obviously liked it a lot more than everybody else. And I think the reason is because it's reminding me, much like the Boston Baked Beans, it's reminding me of a Nutty Buddy.
Right.
Which you like more.
Which I love more with my 6 closest war brothers.
Yeah. You share a trench with
My
somebody.
platoon buddies. Yeah.
You share a foxhole with those boys.
Just us and our jock strap.
Nothing's off limits, dude.
Operation Jockstrap. I enjoyed it. You are right that it is a little too dry in the middle, and what the Nutty Buddy has over that is that there is more of the peanut buttery cream in it that get those thighs warmed up, lubricates it.
Yeah.
But it's... Yeah, I like this. I was considering going a little bit lower, but I thought, well, this is what I first thought about it. You gave it 2. You gave it a 3. I gave it a 4.
Whoa. 4.
We went 2, 3, 4.
From Big Daddy.
So the truth is somewhere in the middle.
The truth is somewhere a 3.
A 3. Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because this is the sort of texture I do like out of a chocolatey candy. A Nutty Buddy is a better version of this, or maybe something chocolatey or something wetter, something more
I think
juicy.
I think the Nutty Buddy or a version of Coffee Crisp with just adding another element might really do the trick.
Yeah, maybe like a French vanilla kind of these variety, or the yogurt kind. I don't know.
But. That was another thing I was struggling with. It does need something else in there because I was getting too much like cookie pastry, like a breakfast.
It's a fine line.
Yeah.
It's a really, this is a breakfast candy.
This totally is the breakfast candy.
And you were, before we had a bite of it, you were already kind of pegging it as a, like a protein bar, a power bar or something. And
I was getting those vibes too.
Yeah. And now after eating it, it kind of feels like that.
It looks like those like power bars you get at Trader Joe's or something.
The Max or whatever, yeah.
It has that same like bland, plain look to it when you unwrap it.
Yeah.
But whereas its cousin that it's not kissing, the Kit Kat, the kitting,
just give it a chance.
The kitting cousin.
You just get those two in a bunk bed together. Go ahead.
A Kit Kat is more chocolatey forward. There's less wafer, more chocolate.
Yes.
I feel like than this is more wafer,
less
than
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, like this is kind of more what a Big Cat is like. So maybe there should be a Lil Crisp. That's more like a Kit Kat.
Yeah, my favorite rapper, Lil Crisp.
I don't know. I only know the guy who sings Thrift Shop.
What do you guys think of the chocolate on a Coffee Crisp?
The chocolate,
it was fine. Like it was mass produced, generic. Like
it was
Snickers
creamier
chocolate.
than most junk chocolate you encounter.
Yeah,
but it also was much less flavorful.
Sure. Yeah, I thought the same thing. It was almost like watered down chocolate, but
it's Nestle.
It's Nestle, yeah. I didn't expect it to be a chocolate bar or have even a thick layer of chocolate. I just was wondering what you guys thought of the taste of it. Yeah,
it's verging on chocolate tea.
Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah,
chocolate.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This whole experience was like very confusing.
Yeah,
but ultimately it wasn't offensive. It was just fair. It was just fine.
Yeah, it was an experience.
Oh, Canada.
It was very Canadian.
Yeah.
Canada's ears are burning, which is British Columbia and Labrador. Those are Canada's ears. So would you be excited to get this when you're Halloween appling, Greg?
I would, yeah. If there's a fun size of this, I could definitely do it. I
wonder what the fun size is like.
Yeah, I wonder if it's smaller or if it's just like, they could have a quarter of it, or if it's, I don't know. But Yeah, I could do this once a year.
I could do this way more than once a year. I could definitely like eat one of these in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, start your day with this.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think
Eat
tomorrow
one coffee crisp in the morning.
or this weekend I might have one with coffee and then maybe reassess next episode or something.
Yeah, this is like how the American breakfast is a coffee and a donut. Maybe like the Canadian breakfast is a coffee and a coffee crisp.
Yeah.
With maple syrup and Canadian bacon.
Everything has pancakes.
And a hockey puck. Yeah, pancakes.
Pancakes, yeah. Flapjack. They call it flapjacks. I actually don't know if that's true or not.
Gretzky cakes. So you would be...
Yeah, I think maybe it's just our American sensibilities that we wanted more of a statement. We wanted something
bold.
We wanted that bold.
Well, what political party does this belong to? Yeah, I would also be excited to get this Halloween apple.
Yeah. I would just be excited to Halloween apple. Let me just get there.
So get me to Calgary.
I want to put a little devil mask on and run around Calgary.
I think excited is too strong of a word.
Accepting.
Yeah.
I will accept this.
Yeah.
Well, it is Canadian again. They don't know there is no word in their language for excitement. There is baseline and winning the Stanley Cup. Those are the
I wish I had the numbers of people that stopped listening to the podcast and we're like, that's how many people were listening in Canada. 18.
We'll track those numbers.
Yeah.
The
I'll check the chart
before this.
Who knows how to do subtraction really
Wait
well?
a minute. Canada's greatest enemy loves us now, whoever that might be.
America.
So now we're getting into the end of the show. So we have our pre-game plug. That was a good Molson's. Eh?
You know what sounds good right now is beans.
Welcome to the country of beans, where everything is Canadian bean based. So one thing that we asked you to do for this week, how about you support us on Patreon?
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Greg's raising his hand,
Keep
or is
going.
he just stretching?
This is the next segment. I just don't want to forget.
Greg's having a heart attack. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, at the end of next segment is when you bring up the thing I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm very confused. But.
So he was going to remind me of something.
Cookies equal fries.
That's
So,
right.
but right now for the pre-game plug, support us on Patreon. We ask you to do
Yes,
one thing
please.
each week. It helps keep the lights on and paying
Yeah.
for these candies,
Whew.
which some of them were sent to us for free, but some of them we had to pay
Hey,
for, and it's Canadian.
I'm still hurting from those peeps, dude.
Yeah.
Still hurting.
That was like 7 years ago. you're still paying back taxes on those peeps.
My credit score never recovered.
You didn't buy Peeps in 2018, did you?
You gotta. Who's that really tall guy who got fired from the FBI by Donald Trump?
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, that's the one. Whatever. Well, our Canadian listeners don't know what the FBI is. So, it helps pay for all this. You can support us at the $1 level. We love that. You don't get anything. But at the $3 level, you get a hand-drawn picture of you as your favorite candy by our resident professional artist, Kevin Smith, not that
Such
one.
a steal.
That you can use to show off to people or as your profile picture. What do we care? Do whatever you want with it.
We also have someone will write your name in like animal alphabet with airspray. His name's Martin Scorsese, not that one. Go ahead. That's a lie. No one will do that. It's all right.
Well, that's the $400 level.
Yeah.
We will get the real Martin Scorsese. So if you go to patreon.com/candyisdandy, you can sign up there. And if we get enough of you supporting us, we will start to offer our bonus cookie episodes where we do the same show, but with cookies instead. And maybe
Coffee Crisp.
will be
We'll make a special appearance.
We'll just play this episode again. That's what you're paying
We subversively inserted a cookie episode.
This is the backdoor pilot too. And what do you guys think of Oreos also? So yes, patreon.com/candyisdandy. It helps keep this show going. So now, this is not so much a game, but a few weeks back, I had posted the Cadbury creme egg autopsy on TikTok and nobody cared. But then it somehow jumped over the Atlantic and reached England, and people lost their minds because I was pronouncing the word creme the way that it was spelled rather than cream, which is how they wanted me to pronounce it. So over 500,000
Oh my God.
British people were yelling at me that I was pronouncing the word wrong. And this was hilarious for everybody except maybe the guy who had to see these comments every time he picked up his phone. So
Who could that be?
Dang.
Who was
both
that?
of you thought it was so funny.
Never seen
Melissa
one.
thought it was so funny. Everyone thought this was so funny.
The Beatles hate you. Every time you put down your phone, you look back. Paul McCartney's mad at you.
The Queen died because of this. But just so you all and the listener get the full taste of what I got, I thought I would read a selection of the most choice of these comments for all of you.
You went through 500,000 of them?
Yeah.
I had to read through all of these and find the ones that were actually kind of funny.
Okay.
So
how brave you are.
Here we go. Ahem. Creme, LOLOL. Excuse me, what? Nobody calls them creme. It's pronounced cream. Even the TV adverts pronounce it cream.
How's that advert?
Yeah.
They're cream, not creme, you weirdo. It's British. Do as you're told. It's a it's a trademark.
Wow.
America.
Oh, I didn't realize that the planet's daddy is here. Oh no, everybody.
You guys have learned your lesson?
Yeah.
You want to try that again?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of tea to throw in the harbor. It's a trademark protected name. It's pronounced cream. Do your homework. What?
How are they spelling this CREME?
When they're making fun of me, they're spelling it CREM. Other times they're just spelling it cream when it's spelled creme.
They're using CREAM.
They're saying CREAM.
Man, they can't even get their story
They
right.
can't get a story right. You know my favorite band that Eric Clapton was in?
Yeah.
Creme.
What about face cream? It doesn't contain dairy, but it's called cream. It's really irritating the way you're pronouncing creme. They did spell it creme. I realize it's supposedly French, but it's pronounced cream. Just because it's spelt differently doesn't mean it's said differently. An example, where and were are said the same, but not spelt the same. Which, by the way, right
What?
there,
Yeah.
what are they talking? Is this some sort of are you trying to prove your point by pointing out more stupid ways you pronounce things? You know how different words can be spelled differently but pronounced the same? Yeah? Well, cream and creme are the same in English. No one in the UK calls it creme. Pronounce it as cream egg from now on.
You have to, Daniel.
It's highly annoying hearing him pronounce it this way, like.
And it sucks that they're making me hear it. That they made me hear it.
They're making me press like and repost.
They're making me.
Cream egg, say it right. I don't know why, but pronouncing it creme makes me so uncomfortable. That's actually from our friend Dan O'Keefe, aka Benedict Arnold.
Hi, Dan.
Did he just say Cadbury's creme egg? Did man just say creme? Am going a ma bed, you fried ma brain. Why his egg so stumpy? They literally not that stumpy. They now took offense to the stumpiness of my egg. Why is that creme egg so short and fat? Now they're body shaming my egg. Bro, it's pronounced cream egg. It's spelt creme, but pronounced cream. I'm from the UK, so I know. Why do you?
I'm an authority on it. I'm from the UK. Whatever that means.
Why do you say Cadbury like that? It's like Cadbury. So now they're taking offense to my pronunciation of that. Hearing someone pronounce Cadbury creme eggs as Cadbury creme egg made my ears bleed. I hate how Americans pronounce things. American boy, have you learnt nothing? Call it a creme egg in the UK enough times and I guarantee you'll get a jab.
Damn.
You're not saying...
Is that fries? Is that an elevator?
That means I get a job, I think?
I don't know.
We're slowly transitioning to the death threats.
I know.
Yeah.
You're not saying it right. Stop saying all those words funny. Nobody in the UK says creme egg, you Doris.
Oh, I like that.
Do
though.
you also say crispy creme?
Yeah, I do, pal.
When bro,
That's American for friend.
when bro busts, he says, "I'm about to creme."
That's right. Yeah, that's
It
a
is
good
true,
one.
though. You do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do they know? Oh, that one's from my wife. And to sum up, little dude said creme. So now
they don't know how big you are.
before we go into what you had to say, my response.
Yeah.
Hey, can we broadcast onto BBC 4, maybe 5 right now? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, that's a New Year's song. Attention, proud citizens of the fallen empire of Britain. I will continue to say creme eggs until you bury me in my grave. In the meantime, I know you all seem to have a problem accepting French pronunciations into your pure, totally comprehensible version of English. So I invite you all to go down to your local pret-a-manger, grab the nearest aubergine, slather it in creme fraiche, and I know this might be a cliche, but give it a one-way trip to your most precious cul-de-sac, that is to say, where the sun don't shine, that is to say, all of England. That may be a faux pas, but in the end, tomato. So that is my
Masterpiece response.
that I've been sitting on since Easter.
Post that response on TikTok and have China take it down for whatever reason.
And another thing to the people of China. So coffee.
Coffee equal fry.
So you joked that coffee turned into. So in this video, I had made a joke that because the original Cadbury creme egg.
Cookies equal fries.
Cookies equals fries. The original Cadbury creme egg was the Fries creme egg, and they bought it and changed the name. So in the video, I had joked that they bought it and fries was banished from the British vernacular and replaced with the word chips. And so many other people said, "You idiot, fries still exists. It hasn't been banished. There's still fries chocolate."
Oh my, the British sense of humor is so elite. Oh my God, the British sense of humor.
Maybe if I was dressed as Hitler while I was doing it, they would think it was really funny.
Yeah, you didn't do it in a silly voice. Don't you know how British humor works? It's the high and the low of society.
I should have dressed as a woman and grabbed a real woman's breast. Then it would have been right. Thanks for listening to. That's been our Coffee Crisp episode.
Wow.
Ended with rage against the British Empire.
Yeah, that's the first time ever that anyone's ever attacked Britain, by the way. I know. Totally righteously. The candiest dandy Independence Day.
So, that's thanks, Canada.
Wow.
Thanks, Glenn Warren, for sending these. Listen to the Seasons Eatings podcast.
Thank you, Canada.
So, yeah, a fine showing from Canada.
A fine showing from Canada. Yeah, well done, Canada.
Yeah.
And if they need help shaking off that empire of theirs.
Yeah.
We have some colonial wigs left. We have some bagpipes, I think. Or no, it's not bagpipes. What am I thinking of? Windpipe, whatever.
Yeah. No, what's the thing? Oh, yeah, no, a pan flute again.
Yeah, pan
we
flute.
can get the Peruvians involved. So, yeah, that's our Coffee Crisp episode. And we'll see you maybe back down. I don't know what's coming next, but maybe back down in America in a few weeks if they'll let us back through the border after what we just said about British people.
And if you say aluminium, you're wrong. Good night.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cheerio is a cereal in America. Greg, what are you going to say that means to British people?
Advertisement is actually advertisement. Try it sometime.
God bless America.
Oh my God.
Creme.